Welcome you all to the course on machine learning. Today's session we will be talking about the introduction to the optimization techniques. And so this is the final chapter. In this chapter we will be discussing about the various uh, different optimization techniques, especially derivation based optimization technique and then derivation free optimization techniques. And we will start with the introduction to the optimization. These are the contents in today's session we will be discussing about. First, we will be discussing about and what is optimization, what are the definitions which are related to the optimization, why it is required, why we need for optimization. Then later part we will be discussing about the components of optimization problem, that we will be discussing about the different elements like what is the variable and then objective functions, right, and all other elements. Then later part we will discuss about the different types or the classifications of optimization function. So basically we will deal about the two types of optimization methods. The first one is derivative methods. So under that, we will discuss about the two types of techniques. One is the steepest or the gradient descent method, and the second one is the Newton's method. And the second category, which is derivative free method. Under this method, we will discuss about the random search, genetic algorithm, and other things, right? And later part, we will discuss about. We will solve a numerical example through which we will try to find out the optimal value for the problem which is given. Now, first we'll have the introduction or what is meant by an optimization. So, when you talk about optimization, so it is the action of making the best or most effective use of a given situations. If there is a real-time problem, right, and for that problem, we wanted to find out the best solution or the solution which will more appropriate to the problem. So for example, so that if we wanted to go from one place to other place, and so there will be the different path or different route through which we can reach the destination. Instead that if we are trying to find out the best route or the shortest route out of the available routes, so that will be the optimal solution or the optimal path through which with the shorter period or with the shorter duration we can reach the destination. So that is for the example how we can able to reach a destination from one place to other place using the optimal route. Very similar to that for all type of real time problems, if we implement optimization techniques and we'll try to find out the most appropriate solution to the given real time problem. It is a technique of squeezing best performance out of the provided current state of the model. So based on the current state of the particular object which is given, from that we are trying to find out the best performance, or we are trying to find out the best output from the particular system state model. Next, we'll have the definitions about the optimizations. When you talk about optimization which comes from the same root as optimal which refers best. So when we optimize something, so we are making it the best. So already, so this we discussed in when we are dealing about the artificial neural network, right? And when we are dealing about the artificial neural network, which is the collection of different artificial nodes or neurons, right? And so there could be the different layers. The first one will be the input layer, and the last one will be our output layer. In between, we may have the n number of feeder layers, right? When we talk about the different parameters we discussed under the artificial neural network, the first one will the input, so that will be passed to the node of an input layer, very similar to that, and so that will be multiplied with the weight. Now when we talk about the weight, when we are implementing the artificial neural network in the beginning stage, we'll randomly initialize the weights, and then we'll multiply the weight with the input, and that will be forwarded to the next layer, which is our the hidden layer node, and so in that hidden layer nodes it will try to find out the weighted sum, and that weighted sum that will be keep on repeating, and then that will be keep on applying to this the threshold value function or activation function, and finally we will get the output. So once if we get the output, that output which is going to be compared with the actual output, that is the calculated output that is going to be compared with the targeted output. So and we will try to find out the errors. In case that errors, if it is maximum, if there is more deviation in that cases, again what we have to do, we have to iteratively repeat, or we can optimize the weight so that so where the error will be very less, right? So this is how through the optimization technique, right, we can able to find out the best or the optimal weight for our artificial neural network. So the same thing which is going to happen here. So through mathematically with the different derivations and through mathematical calculation, we are trying to find out the best value for the given problem. So here, when you talk about this optimization, which we are trying to find out the best value, right? Now, when you talk about the best, can vary. If this is again another scenario through which I can explain how we can able to do the optimization. If you are a football player and everyone be interested in football, and you might wanted to maximize our running yard. So this is, so you supposed to often run from this end to that end, and when you have to chase the ball, and then and also minimize your fumble. So here you supposed to minimize during your movements, and you are not supposed to get the fouls. So both the maximization as well as maximizing as well as minimizing are the type of optimization problems. So here when we talk about the maximization as well as minimization, where the maximization should be the running years. Again, you're supposed to run very fast by taking the multiple times practices or the regular practices. At the same time, we can try to reduce or we can minimize the fouls, right? So by the way, so here the optimization, so which involves both maximization and then minimization. Maximization which maximize the performance as well as minimize the errors. Now here, why we need to have the mathematical optimization in the real-time world? So here there are the different branches where the optimization is required, as I was explaining earlier. So if we want to find out the shortest distance between the two places, after that we will try to calculate the distances or the amount of time which is required to reach from the source to destination. After that we will try to find out the optimal solution in terms of the cost or distance, which is whatever is less. So that we will be considering as the optimal solution. Very similar to that. So these are the different branches or the areas where the optimization which is going to play a major role. First, the machine learning, where we will try to find out decision making as well as finding the optimal values for the different support vector machines, as well as the artificial neural network and then radial basis function. The second one is the manufacturing as well as production, and then inventory control, transportation, scheduling, networks, and so lot of fields where this optimization can be placed, right? And engineering, all types of mechanical and civil engineering, and then mechanics, economics, where we want to take decisions, and then control engineering, marketing, where we will try to find out the forecasting as well as strategy, and then policy modeling, and then finance. So these are the few areas where this optimization technique which will plays a major role in the different areas. Now we will discuss about the optimization vocabularies, and so our basic optimization problem consists of, first one is the objective function. When you talk about the objective function will be our the output. What are the output we are going to find out from the given problem? What we are trying to maximize as well as what we are trying to minimize. So with the previous scenario I was explaining about, we supposed to run fast as well as we supposed to reduce our the faults. So here the objective function will be our the output, and the second one is that the different variables are the different inputs that will be passed to the our function. So or we will consider as the inputs, and from the inputs we will try to find out the output. So here the variables x1, x2, x3 and so on, which are the inputs, things which you can control. So they are abbreviated xn to refer to an individual x, to refer them as a group. So here these are the inputs on which we are going to have the controls, right? F of x, which will be calculated or which will be optimal value which has to be found by doing something on these inputs. And the final thing is, which is a constraint. When we talk about this constraint, constraints are the equations or what type of function we are going to use, right? Constraints, which are equations that place limits on how big or how small some variable can get. So here the equally constraints are, so there are two constraints, equality constraints. So here this is another notation, equality constraint, which will be represented h n of x, h I mean the suffix n, right? And then inequality constraints, so which will be represented g n of x. So here, so basically there are the three points or three parameters when you talk about the optimization we supposed to remember. The first one is the objective function, or f of x, that could be the output function, uh, for what object we are going to maximize or minimize. And the second one is that the input variables are, I could say, that the inputs on which we are going to have the controls. The third one is the constraints, whether this is the equality constraint or the inequality constraints. So the constraint, which actually means for the equations. Now this is the different definitions of components of optimization problems, right? The first one is this objective function. When you talk about an objective function express performance of a system need to be minimized or maximized. So as we were discussing in the previous slide, again the objective function which is going to determine the performance of the system. The second one is that the variables also can be called as the design or decision variables. So here, so these elements are the set of unknowns define the objective function, and the constraints so can be continuous or discrete or boolean. When you talk about the continuous, again, so the numbers could be in the continuous range. Again, when you talk about the discrete, again, so this could be the categorical value. So again, the input might be in the form of discrete, whether it could be a dog or cat or elephant or buffalo, whatever it may be, and or it could be the boolean. So when you talk about the booleans, again, the inputs could be only the 0 or 1 or yes or no, right? Again, so here the boolean inputs are the binary values, which is 0 or 1. 0 means no, 1 means yes. And very similar to that, the third element, which is stands for the constraints. So they are the conditions allows the unknowns to take on a certain values but exclude others to render the design to be feasible. So here again, the previous slide we was discussing about. So this constraints, so which is going to be considered as the equality. So whether it is the f of x, which is equal to some variables which is given, right, which is the input values. Now again, so this I will explain with this the different terms with the same scenario which I was explained in the starting. A football coach is planning to practices for his running back. So his main goal is to maximize the running yards. So this will become his objective function. The coach's objective function is that he wants to train the players to run faster between the yards, right? And the second thing is that he can make his athletes spend practice time in the weight room, or running sprints, or practicing ball protections. The amount of time spent on each is a variable. So here the amount of time which is spent on the different events for running practices as well as sprints as well as practicing for ball protections, the time which is spent for all these events, so which will be called as the variables, right? And the third element, however, there are limits to the total amount of time he has also. If he completely sacrifices for ball protections, you may see running yards go up, but also fumbles. So he may place an upper limit to the amount of fumbles he consider which is acceptable. So these are the constraints. So the amount of time or the amount of the fumble which can be accepted. All these things which comes in the constraints. Now, so this is an again in the derivative form or the variable form representations in terms of equations. So here the objective functions, so which can be the maximum or minimum. So that is going to be represented in f of x. So here the x value which will range from I to n, right? So 1, 2, 3 till n, right? This is f of x, right? When you talk about the constraint, so here the equality constraint which is going to be represented in gi of x1 is equal to n for all I epsilon 1 to p. So here p is the maximum elements, right? 1 to p number of elements. So here the x could be the inputs values whatever we are passing, that may vary from I to n, right? And so this g of I which is going to be represented equality constraints, right? Now again this phi of j which is going to be represented as, so here this the equation which is equal to 0, right? So here when you talk about inequality constraints again, so whether this could be less than 0 or greater than 0, right? So this equation or this constraint will becomes the inequality constraint which is going to be represented the pi of j. And the third one is that the variables, when we talk about the variables are the input we were discussing from the beginning. So xi is an n dimensional vector called design variables or design or the product variables, right? So here which can be represented in terms of n number of variables. I may vary from 1 to n. So these are the different or the three component which will be covering under this topic optimization. The first one is this objective function, the second one is the variables, and the third one is constraints. Now, when we talk about the different types of optimization problems, right? Some problems have a constraint and do some do or not, right? So here I was explaining about. So here this diagram which represents that the limited. So here we have the lower bound as well as the upper bound. So within this bound or within this limit we are trying to find out the optimal solutions. In case of unlimited, so there is no restriction. So here we can try to keep on increasing the values or we can keep on decreasing the value, and at some point we'll try to find out the optimal value. So this is again the unlimited constraints. Now again, so there can be the different variables, whether it could be the one variable or many variables. Again, so this is the type which is based on the input which we are considering for our optimization problem. The first one is that one variable where we have only one input which is x1, and the second one is that many variables problem in which we have more than one variable. So here again, so this is a representation. This is going to be represented with the different variables 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, more than one variables. So here this is one variable which is going to be passed to the inputs, which is only one variable, right? Again, so based on this, the variables can be a discrete. Now again, we were talking about that whether the the input can be a one variable or many variable, and then whether we have some constraints or some may not have the constraint where we have the definite bound. And the third one is that whatever the variable we are going to pass to the input function, so that could be a discrete or the continuous value. When we talk about discrete or the categorical value, so here where it is there is no continuity, each individual values are the separate one. So again, so this separate input, again this is the separate value, again so this could be the separate value. Again when we talk about the continuous values, so here, so again, so this is representation of the continuous signals or the continuous values through which, so this could be passed as the input value. So here the based on that what type of input value we are passing, right? So again, so the input could be a discrete or continuous. Next, we will be discussing about some problems are statics, and that problem do not change over time. And the second could be the dynamic, right, where the continual adjustment must be made as the changes occur. Suppose if there is a small changes in the equation which happens, automatically we need to adjust the weight or the other parameter dynamically. So in case of statics, so there is no such situations, the problem which is going to be static, and once we found out the solution, that is going to be the final and that is not going to be changed. Now, next we will be discussing about how we'll identify that the system can be deterministic. When you talk about the deterministics, the specific causes produce the specific effects are stochastics. When you talk about the stochastic are which involves a randomness or probability. So this is what we are going to discuss about in the upcoming lectures, whether the deterministic function which is going to affect on the specific effects, or whether it is going to make some randomness or a probability effect on the selected values. Now, the next based on that, whatever the applications, whatever the equations which we are going to use, so that is whether it could be a linear and then whether it could be a non-linear. So now, when we talk about that, the linear equations where this the values are which is going to be passed in the specific whether the values which might be linearly increasing or decreasing like a slope, right? When you talk about the non-linear equation, so here, so this can randomly increase or decrease, so it's like a the curve. So here this will be considered as the non-linear curves. So based on that, what type of the function which we are going to use, and so that could be whether the linear equation or non-linear equations. So with this, we'll complete our today's session. The remaining things we will discuss in our the next lecture.